All right, Elliot, thanks. Currently, it is 63 degrees at the weather station. News Talk 630 WPRO 99.7 FM. As you get up and head on out the door right now, if you've got to head on into work, go to 630WPRO.com and make sure you pull us up online. You can actually see the governor here as we continue our conversation. Governor, again, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate this. WPRO News Time is 8:17. Governor, one of the things that you campaigned on a year ago, and this comes from one of the questions that we had solicited from our listeners, was doing an end to cronyism. We've seen the headlines over the past few weeks with the state legislature dealing with unbelievable salaries for those affiliated somehow. Some of your staffers and the executive staff are also longtime politicos here in Rhode Island. Can you justify that, and have you at least made an effort to put an end to cronyism within state government?
Oh, yes, of course. And you always bring into your administration people that have been with you. That's no different from the president to the governor to a mayor or in office. That's a natural, or even in business. Frequently you see that happen in business, men and women coming in that have worked together and have a team. But as far as the bigger issue of cronyism, I enjoy providing good services at a lower price to the taxpayers. That's what I enjoy doing every day. And as mayor, that was the challenge that I enjoyed doing. We did it very successfully in my time in Warwick. In my last election, I was elected in every district and every ward in the city. So obviously, they like the way I provided those services at a reasonable price to the taxpayer. That's what I like doing. And so if it's ending cronyism or wherever it is, every day I'm going to work at providing the best services at the lowest price.
And getting to today's headlines, and speaking of your last election, gay marriage shot down. We've got a turnover at the Rhode Island National Guard today, eventually. And also, obviously, unemployment is still high. The roads are still bad.
Tara, let's stress the positive
No,
here.
I know.
The trees are blooming.
And it's raining out.
Other than that, how's the play?
April showers bring May flowers.
Yes. But Governor, you do have to say that if we're hearing it, you're hearing it. I am more than certain. And you did run on, and for some reason said that two of your big issues were gay marriage and then switching around the E-Verify system, illegal immigration. It seems that you're getting shot down. It seems that you could be becoming ineffective.
No, there's no surprise here. The demographics of Rhode Island make it very difficult for gay marriage. It's a very elderly state. It's the highest Roman Catholic state in the country. There was no surprise this was going to be difficult. Civil unions is a win. It's a step forward. There's no doubt about that.
Do you feel defeated at all?
Of course not. No, I knew how difficult the demographics are in the state about getting gay marriage. There's no surprise. This was going to be very difficult. I think it's important for our economy to tell the world, tell the country, we're a very welcoming place where liberties are going to be very well embraced, and that's our history. That's Rhode Island history. The greatest liberties of any colony in the world. Back in 1663 when we had our charter.
I don't mean to interrupt. You've said that you are working with the top legislative leaders, and who would have thought that Gordon Fox had to turn around? He is an openly gay leader at the State House, the Speaker of the House. He shot down gay marriage. He shot down your budget proposal. I think if any time ever gay marriage was going to get through, it would have been under this particular administration and leadership. What's happening?
Well, you're saying shot down the budget. This is a long process, and the budget's going to be passed in June. That's usually when it happens. We're still in April. And so it's a long process. It's not shot down. And as far as gay marriage, they're taking a step back to civil unions.
Let me follow up, if I could, on a question that Tara, we were talking a moment ago about the issues. I mean, everybody knows the 36% of the vote that you were elected on, the budget, which was, as one legislator said, dead on arrival at Smith Hill. The fact that gay marriage has been reduced. You're nodding your head no. Was gay marriage is now going to go
I'm
to
saying
civil
dead
unions.
on arrival. No. This is the toughest fiscal year budget in Rhode Island's history.
And we'll talk about that over the next 40 minutes. But if we could, the question of relevance right now, Governor, it's people are disparaging you. We stand up there. It's got to be rough. We said off mic a few moments ago that you're enjoying yourself, which is fantastic. But are you, in fact, relevant just 120 days into your tenure?
Was it Spiro Agnew said, nattering nabobs of negativism?
Yes, I know.
I've heard it before. When I was elected in November of 1992 as mayor of Warwick, I had about the same percentage. There was a three-way race, and I had less than 50%. And I had the first Republican mayor in 32 years at a Democratic council, and the nattering nabobs of negativism were no different.
That's a class we take in journalism school, by the way. Yes.
Right now than it was back in 1993 when I came in as mayor. And we excelled. We got the teachers settled in Warwick. We got the whole Hornoff police scandal under control, got the police department, and got our economy going in the city. And as I said, I had great success in the city of Warwick. So this is similar in some ways.
You have to admit it's been challenging.
Very challenging, but I like a challenge, and this is a great state. Rhode Island's the best state in the country, and if we get our act together, we can really prosper. I know that.
So you get up in the morning, you check out the headlines, you turn on WPRO Morning News, I would only imagine. You have to start the day. Who's the person you turn to? Who's your top advisor?
Well, I have a team of advisors, but when I get up in the morning, I take my daughter Thea into school. That's my routine, and she's 13 years old in the 7th grade, and she's not an advisor. We barely have any discussion on the way in, but it's a very precious time, and that's how I start my day.
But when the headlines start coming at you and you realize you have to start your day as the governor, is there one person you turn to advice? Is there a team of people that come at you and say, this is how we have to grapple with this situation, Governor?
Yes, it's a group of people, men and women, that we all, and I work with the legislators. It's a team.
You mentioned your children, and I've seen them grow up in the neighborhood, and beautiful family. Do you feel you're going to be able to rectify any of the tough economic situations in Rhode Island, so you're going to be able to leave it in a better place, or do you want your kids to get the heck out of Rhode Island so that they can actually make some money?
No, it's a big sacrifice to serve in public office, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't think that we could turn the state around. And I talked in the campaign about the ABCs. I still believe that's our recipe for success. Take our assets and make them work for us, whether it's the Station District in Warwick or the Knowledge District in Providence, or the defense and tourism industry in Aquidneck Island. These are our assets. Make them work for us. They're better than any other state, things we have. The B is the budget, and we're talking about that here this morning. It's very important to our future to have a good, strong budget that looks to the future, invests in education, and invests in roads and bridges. And my budget does that. And the C is corruption, and we're seeing down in Newport with the Naval Undersea Warfare Center ramifications of corruption again in this state. So those are the ABCs, and that's our recipe for success. If we do them all, our children will not leave this state. And in fact, companies will be looking to come here. I know that's true. It's a great place to live and raise your family.
We're going to touch on that, companies coming here and some of the tax breaks to some of the bigger companies. But just today, we heard that General Bray will be leaving the Rhode Island National Guard. Can you just walk us through, it's an unseen type of an office for a lot of folks until we get a flood or until we get the December debacle. Then all of a sudden everyone's looking for the National Guard. But it is an important position. Also the head of the Emergency Management Agency. Who are you looking for? What's the criteria, and how does that process unfold?
Well, there's the highest ranking members of the National Guard, obviously, I would expect would want to be considered. I do want to stay in state, and so those are the beginning areas we'll look at.
So was that an issue that General Bray was not from in-state?
No. The governor has to work closely with the adjutant general, and there is a term involved, and it's not unusual to have, in any administration, to have changes.
There was some reports that he traveled an awful lot because he had family in different, far away, in different parts of the country. Was that a concern to you, and did you have meetings about that?
He served the state of Rhode Island very well over the years, and the time came for mutual discussions for change, and he did a terrific job here in Rhode Island. Do
you have a top 3 list going?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Can't get any news or anything? We want to break some news here?
And you didn't ask for his resignation. You're saying it was mutual?
Yes, we had some discussions.
All right.
We're going to come back to the big business section. We'll let you know what some of your people, the people of Rhode Island, are asking about, and obviously it has a lot to do with finances. So we're going to come back at 8:26.